Welcome to the United Center in Chicago for an Original Six matchup. The Blackhawks' Brad Richards gets set to face the team he helped lead to the Stanley Cup final last spring. The Rangers' Rick Nash, MVP candidate, 38 goals, second in the NHL. Rangers, Blackhawks next. 41-degree evening in Chicago, a rivalry dating back to 1926, the Blackhawks and the Rangers. Good evening, everybody. Kenny Albert along with Eddie Olczyk. Two of the final four from last year's playoffs get together for the first time this season. Eddie for the Rangers, no Henrik Lundqvist, no problem. Cam Talbot, 21 of a possible 28 points.
Yeah, you're never going to replace one of the top three goaltenders, in my opinion, in Henrik Lundqvist, Kenny, but Cam Talbot has certainly stepped up. You hear a lot about depth in organizations in the National Hockey League. You think about defensemen and forwards, but you need it in your backup goaltender, and Talbot has done just that. I think as of late, the Rangers have kind of found their team game, and Talbot's been a big reason why, and the numbers don't lie. Look at the numbers for Cam Talbot, and what a free agent signing by the New York Rangers a couple of years ago.
On the other side, Blackhawks have won 4 of their last 5. They made a deal at the deadline acquiring Antoine Vermette from the Arizona Coyotes.
Well, it brings depth to the center ice position for Joel Quenneville and the Chicago Blackhawks. And when you think about a guy like Antoine Vermette, he can really play in any situation. He's so good at the face-off dot. He can play on your power play. He can be good on the defensive side of the puck. He's still looking for his first point in goal as a Blackhawk. But the other night against the Edmonton Oilers, he had 3 A-plus chances. You keep going to that area of the ice, you're going to find the back of the net. And Antoine Vermette certainly gives Joel Quenneville options. And that trade really came to the forefront, Kenny, because of the injury to Patrick Kane.
Vermette had the shootout winner against Edmonton on Friday. Blackhawks with a 2-1 victory. An Original Six matchup coming up. Blackhawks and Rangers from the United Center next. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by SAP. Visit NHL.com/stats with insights from SAP. And by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Back in Chicago, Eddie Olczyk caught up earlier with Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews.
Okay, Jonathan, you guys have won 4 of your last 5 after a stretch there where you were a 500 hockey team since the Winter Classic back on January 1st. What's changed here the last 10 days or so?
Well, I think we're definitely understanding the urgency a little bit more. We know that that type of record this time of year is not good enough. We got a lot of teams chasing us, and it's time to play our best hockey. No more wasting time. So we're going to have a good test for us tonight, and we're looking forward to that one.
Well, you're on a nice hot streak here, scoring goals. You got 5 goals in your last 6 games. We all know about the injury to Patrick Kane. Any more emphasis on you, any more pressure to be more offensive without Patrick Kane in the lineup?
Maybe a little bit, but I think even with or without Kaner, I think that pressure was always being put on myself. I think with the season it's been, puck hasn't been quite going in as much as I would expect, but it's nice to have a little success lately, and that definitely helps my confidence. I think the confidence of our line as well, especially with Host. He had a nice little hot stretch there a little while back, so hopefully as long as there's one of us scoring, we can keep that going.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Edzo.
Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews. The Honda starting goaltenders for the Rangers. Cam Talbot, his 7th straight start, 15th in the last 16 games in the absence of Henrik Lundqvist. For the Blackhawks, Corey Crawford, who has won his last 3 starts, 10th in the league in save percentage this season. Blackhawks head coach Joel Quenneville will start 3 former Rangers, Brad Richards, Dan Carcillo, and Michael Roosevelt. Alain Vigneault will start in the middle, a former Blackhawks first-round draft pick, Kevin Hayes.
Little gamesmanship right off the bat.
Rangers have not played since Wednesday, a 2-1 overtime defeat in Detroit. Blackhawks 2-1 victory in a shootout over Edmonton here at the United Center on Friday.
The Blackhawks certainly want to play way better defensively than they did in the first 2 periods of that game against Edmonton. They gave up Corey Crawford had 47 shots against him in that 2-1 shootout win.
Blackhawks, of course, without their leading scorer, Patrick Kane. Johnny Oduya as well. A surprise scratch in Brian Bickle, who has played in all 65 games this season for the Blackhawks.
Lose some size, lose some heaviness, and Brian Bickle's a guy that has been a playoff performer the last couple of years for Joel Quenneville, but not happy, obviously, so a healthy scratch. And the one thing with Bickle, when he has been sat or not got a lot of ice time, he's one guy that responds extremely well. And that's what you're looking for, a guy to respond when you're a healthy scratch.
New acquisition, Andrew Desjardins, made his Blackhawk debut on Friday. Scratched as well tonight for the Rangers. Healthy scratches, Tanner Glass and Matt Hunwick. First of two meetings over the next 2 weeks between the Rangers and Blackhawks as Chris Kreider knocks the puck out to center. Wilson-Ball gives it away to St. Louis. Barrett step on for Dan Boyle. Knocked down by Crawford. And now a 2-on-1 the other way for Met with Saad. Only Mark Stahl is back. Saad with a shot and a glove save by Cam Talbot.
Boy, trading chances. Trading chances at one end. First, Crawford with an outstanding stop off an odd man situation. There's Dan Boyle. Glove save with Marty St. Louis standing right in front of the blue paint. And then quick transition. Saad and Hossa 2-on-1. Stahl does a nice job there of not allowing that pass to get across, and Talbot grabs it right out of midair.
This is Kimmo Timonen playing in his third game with the Blackhawks. Timonen number 44. Keith Yandel clears the puck out for the Rangers, and it's flipped up over the glass by Yandel's ex-teammate in Arizona, Antoine Vermette. Cam Talbot, Eddie, since the start of last season, has the best goals against average and the second best save percentage in the entire National Hockey League.
I made mention of that in the open. A great free agent signing by the New York Rangers. Played his college hockey at Alabama, Huntsville, and there were a couple of teams that were hot after Talbot, and one of those being the Edmonton Oilers, and they chose not to go that direction, and I think they're still looking for a goaltender in Edmonton, but he's been a great pickup and a wonderful backup for Henrik Lundqvist.
Rangers offside. Talbot signed a one-year extension with the Rangers through next season. Henrik Lundqvist has been skating. Initially suffered the sprained blood vessel in late January. His last game was on February 2nd. No timetable for his return, but he is certainly chomping at the bit to get back.
Well, and look, it's a long run. He's played a lot of hockey over the course of the last couple of years when you throw the Olympics in as well.
Dan Girardi with a shot, and that deflects wide to the left of Crawford.
Now that changed direction about 10 feet out in front of Crawford, but the rest will not hurt a guy like Henrik Lundqvist.
Nicholas Hjalmarsson got to play the puck for the Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews for Chris Versteeg. Derek Stepan back for the Rangers. Rangers with 2 early shots. Blackhawks have 1. Rangers captain Ryan McDonough up the middle. No icing. St. Louis first one in. Dropping it off for Boyle. Rangers work it down low to St. Louis. Out in front for Mitt. Who's there for the Blackhawks. Shot into the Rangers zone. Stick check by Stahl. Blackhawks hold in. Shot for the right circle. Picked out by Talbot. Our first penalty, it is a hook.
Yeah, it's going to be on Mark Stahl, I believe. What a chance there for Teuvo Teravainen. Playing the right side on this last shift with Antoine Vermette and Brandon Saad. Great effort to keep the play alive. There's the shot by Teravainen. Well, what a hustle play by Antoine Vermette to keep that play alive and create the chance for the rookie.
Power play presented by Kia Motors. Stahl in the box for hooking. Seabrook and Richards on the points. Blackhawks just 2 power play goals in their last 9 games, both scored by Jonathan Toews. Puck carried ahead by Carl Hagelin. Rangers 10th on the penalty kill. They have 8 shorthanded goals, which is 3rd in the league. Rangers offside.
Well, they got some really quick forwards, and when you have defensemen like Ryan McDonough to be able to get the puck up to guys like Hagelin, like Nash, that once there's transition for Alain Vigneault and the Rangers, it's kill the penalty first, and then once you have possession of the puck, then you can go ahead and get in on the attack.
Rick Nash on the ice now, second leading goal scorer in the league. Also has 4 shorthanded goals. Stepan first one in, poked away by Crawford. Brad Richards has spent the last 3 seasons with the Rangers. First power play of the game, Taves carries across. Knocked away by Stepan. Held it at the line by Richards. Seabrook in deep. Versteeg lets it go through to Hossa. Versteeg for Taves. Now Richards on the left point. Richards fires. Stepan got a stick on it.
Couple of good sticks there by the Rangers defensively. First one by Nash, second one by Stepan. When you have the puck down low and then you move it back high, you got to try to get those penalty killers to be in between, and there can't be any hesitation. So good, quick, hard puck movement. A couple variations for Joel Quenneville with changing up the power play looks, especially with players coming in and out of the lineup.
Rangers control the face-off. Carl Hagelin shoots the puck down ice. Blackhawks now have Andrew Shaw with Saad and Teravainen. Sharp and Keith will play the points. 40 seconds remaining on the stall penalty. Patrick Sharp puts the puck ahead. No goals in the last 17 games. Teravainen for Shaw.
7 of his 10 goals this year are on the power play. Only got 2 5-on-5 goals all season long. He's had some good chances here the last 4 or 5 games. Going to need him to step up even more with the injury in the absence of Patrick Kane.
Saad directs it out to the point for Keith. Teravainen across for a shot saved by Talbot on Sharp. And Kevin Hayes clears the zone as Stahl makes his return. So the Rangers kill it off. Jesper Fast into the Blackhawks zone. Out to the ice by the combination of Saad and Keith. Now Taves carries through the neutral zone. Battling with Dan Boyle. Taves take it to the ice. Hjalmarsson loses to Matt Zuccarello. Seabrook back for the Blackhawks. Hard around to Versteeg. Deflects it out around Kevin Klein. Stahl retreats. Hossa in on the forecheck. Stahl on the recovery. Eric Brassard clears the puck to center. Zuccarello. Brassard had his shot blocked by Seabrook. Nash keeps it alive. Bounces off the right side of the cage, and Seabrook will clear the zone. Marcus Kruger. And now a save by Talbot on Shaw. 6:20 gone by. First period in Chicago. No score.
Well, nice puck movement by the Blackhawks on this power play. Teuvo Teravainen is going to find a lane. Stop it right here. He's going to find this lane right across here. And we talked about Kevin Hayes a little bit earlier. If he takes the bottom hand off his stick, he is able to get his stick in a passing lane. He has 2 hands on a stick there, and that allows that seam to open up for Patrick Sharp to create a real good quality chance there. Nice pass from Teravainen. Great idea by Sharp. But on that play for Hayes is once that puck goes from Keith to Teravainen, you got to have an active stick, and you take up much more room if you have 1 hand on your stick than 2.
Face off to the left of Cam Talbot. Blackhawks control. Keith. Burnett looks to center. Rangers able to clear. Here's Kreider using his speed around Roosevelt. And a stick save by Crawford.
Kreider is really effective when he goes straight ahead. Not many guys can stay with him when he's playing that way.
Speed's such a big part of the Rangers' success over these last few years.
Yeah, and it really starts with their defensemen. Don't stick handle it. Don't try to skate it. Move it up to those speedy forwards and let them go to work.
Duncan Keith with a shot. Blocked by Marty St. Louis. Kreider, this time Roosevelt able to knock him away from the puck. Both teams make changes. As Dan Girardi moves the puck up ice for Matt Zuccarello. And then Derek Brassard. Wrist shot. Knocked down by the glove and then covered by Crawford. Well, Eddie, 5 players in tonight's game have reached the 1,000 game mark during their National Hockey League careers. Dan Boyle played a number 1,000 Wednesday night in Detroit. And 3 of these guys, Boyle, St. Louis, and Richards, won a Stanley Cup together down in Tampa in 2004.
Major milestone, and you need some luck. You need to stay healthy. It's a wonderful achievement, and lots of entertainment going on by those guys.
Centering pass from Zuccarello, blocked off in front. Eddie, you reached that 1,000-game mark, finished with 1,031. 322 with the Blackhawks, 103 with the Rangers.
A lot of hockey, Kenny. A lot of hockey.
And a Stanley Cup ring in New York in '94.
Hard to believe it's 20-plus years already.
Nordstrom plays the puck for the Blackhawks. Left point, Timonen. Now a shot by Nordstrom, misses the net to the right.
Nice play by Shaw there to knock that puck out of midair and be able to set up Nordstrom.
If the Blackhawks win tonight, you can win a free head to
The Blackhawks move the puck D to D. The puck is in the air. There you see the knockdown by Andrew Shaw. Nordstrom in a good position there. And the puck ended up missing to the right. The short side on Cam Talbot might have been deflected. Shot blocked by Dan Girardi.
Andrew Shaw, JT Miller. Lean in for the draw. Blackhawks, Eddie, one of the top face-off teams in the league. Rangers near the bottom.
And you add a guy like Vermette, all of a sudden now, I mean, you put yourself in, be able to dictate the terms when you are able to win draws.
Now Hagelin sends towards the net. Crawford got a stick on it. Miller out towards the right point. Nobody covering. And the Rangers forced to regroup.
Certainly moving forward. Sorry, Kenny. Certainly moving forward for the Rangers. I mean, that's an important part of the game when you want to play a good save there from Crawford.
And then another save. First on Boyle. And the second save on Mark Stahl. Richards cutting wide on Shepard. JT Miller back the other way.
Yeah, just going back to that faceoff. I mean, puck possession is such an important part of the game, and you got to be able to have somebody that can get some help. It's not only the center iceman, but it's also those defensemen and wingers that help out and get a lot of those 50-50 pucks that are available.
Stick save by Talbot on Sharp. Richards for Carcillo. Duncan Keith over to play the puck. Blocked in front by the skate of Kevin Klein, and then cleared out by James Shepard, playing his second game with the Rangers, acquired at the deadline from the San Jose Sharks. Rangers 7 shots, Blackhawks have 5. Saad misses the net to the left. Blackhawks in the midst of a change. Seabrook beats St. Louis to the puck. Now Teravainen across for Hjalmarsson. Antoine Vermette shooting and a glove save by Talbot.
Boy, what a quality chance for the Rangers. Dan Boyle pulls up, deflected by Nicholas Hjalmarsson, and once that puck hits the stick, it starts dipping and diving. Baseball spring training, Kenny, going on, and I'm sure we got some pitchers out there to wish their knucklers would be moving around like that. A little knuckle slurve there by Dan Boyle, and you just never know when you direct that puck to the net. Hjalmarsson's doing what he's supposed to do, is to try to get in the way of that shot, but Crawford's able to fight that one off, and then he got that second chance there and kicked it out with his left hand.
9 Braves pitchers combined for a no-hitter today in spring training. Can you name them?
Glavin, Smoltz. Oh, okay, wrong era. Maddox.
Crawford makes the save on Nash. Not Spawn Insane either. Get the only hockey app with free game highlights and audio and live out-of-market games. Download the official app of the NHL.
Well, I had a chance to visit with Dan Girardi before the game, and he wanted to make sure that he sent a happy birthday to his son, Landon. plays for the Rye Rangers. A young hockey player, 5 years of age, so happy birthday to Landon, and can't forget his daughter Shay as well. So Dad wishing a happy birthday to his son back home.
Landon's dad scored the Rangers' only goal in Detroit on Wednesday night. His first in 35 games.
Again, that was very scrambly. Both teams with lots of giveaways. And both goaltenders playing extremely well. Talbot for the Rangers and Howard for the Red Wings. Joe Quenneville not happy at all, up on top of the bench, barking at the official with that icing call. Watch the right part of your screen, the Blackhawk bench. Joe Quenneville's going to just jump right up onto the bench and bark at the official.
Blackhawks control the ensuing face-off. Keith into the Rangers zone. Stahl lines it around. Kept alive by Taves. Broussard had it stripped. Nice move and a shot by Teravainen gets blocked. Teravainen's looked good here in the first period.
The puck's been finding him in the offensive zone, and he's gaining lots and lots of confidence with more opportunity. The healthy scratch the other night against Edmonton, and offside here when Nash was offside and he collided with Brent Seabrook. Well, Teravainen is gaining some traction. Good steal here. I thought he was going to move this puck over to Taves right here. He's got Taves open on the right side, but he decides to shoot that puck. Never a bad play, especially in that area of the ice. Another good block, and then here you see the collision between Seabrook and Nash. Very close to the boards.
Rick Nash with more career points against the Blackhawks than any other NHL team.
Yeah, with all those years with the Columbus Blue Jackets and having an MVP type of season. I think the biggest change for me from Rick Nash last year, and he caught a lot of heat, and I don't think it was fair last year with Rick Nash, with people all over him last year in the playoffs. To me, he was trying to do everything. He was physical. He was just playing in every situation. He just wasn't finding the puck, and the puck wasn't finding him. But I think he's picked his spots on when to be physical. He's going to the front of the net. He's playing in every situation. He just had an incredible season in all three zones.
38 goals. His career high is 41. Shot by Rundblad gets blocked by Miller. And he's shaken up. JT Miller limps off to the Ranger bench. Ryan McDonough around to Kevin Hayes. Carl Hamblin on the left wing. 8.5 to play. First period, no score. Puck bounces in front. Alert play by Crawford. Klein keeps it alive. James Shepard along the boards.
Good forecheck there by Hayes on Tiemann and forced that whole turnover. Now the Rangers have the puck.
Shepard with an opportunity. And a sprawling save by Crawford.
Oh, what a shift there from the former first-round draft pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. Kevin Hayes, whose older brother Jimmy plays the right wing down in Florida for the Panthers. He got in on the forecheck, forced the turnover, stays with the puck. Beautiful pass over to James Shepard, and Corey Crawford's made a couple of outstanding stops. I don't know how that second one didn't find its way past him. Shepard going right to the front of the net, breakdown and coverage for the Blackhawks, and there's a good look at Kevin Hayes.
Out of Boston College, mentioned his brother Jimmy. How about their stats this year? Kevin, 12 goals, 17 assists. Jimmy, 17 goals, 12 assists.
The older brother, the goal scorer of the family, at least to this point. The former Blackhawk as well, Jimmy Hayes.
Kevin Hayes has done a real nice job. In fact, he's picked up the pace over the last few weeks. Just when you thought he might hit that wall. College season, only 30, 35 games, but he's played even better.
Yeah, he's gained some confidence, gained some traction. I think Alain Vigneault and his staff with Oak Nielsen and Scotty Arniel have done a wonderful job of teaching the young player and help him take his game to another level. And you can't teach size, that's for sure. 6'5", 220-pound center iceman, and also a guy that played, as you mentioned, in BC, played a lot of the wing position as well. So real versatile player.
Boy, you're really going back in Rangers history with Ulf Nielsen.
Oh, sorry, Ulf Nielsen, Ulf Samuelsson, I'm sorry. Talking old school hockey here.
Ranger history and Winnipeg Jets history. From the former Winnipeg Jets. Keith Yandel. St. Louis works it back out for Klein. His shot gets blocked. Now Stepan for Chris Kreider. Yandel with a long shot, and that's handled by Crawford. Watch the NHL on NBC Live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBC Sports/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime.
Rangers out shooting the Blackhawks 2-1 right now, 12-6, and a lot of their chances have been generated from the back end. Their defensemen have done a really nice job of activating not only through the middle of the ice but also in the offensive zone.
Richard into the corner. Nash in front. Gets past Zuccarello. Girardi with a shot. Another save by Crawford.
Well, the Rangers are just the quicker team right now, and the Rangers can feel it. And they're getting the defensemen involved because the Blackhawks have low coverage down low. Good screen in front of the net there from Zuccarello. And Crawford just fights this one off. I mean, he's been really good in this first period with some quality chances coming from the visitors.
He faced 47 shots on Friday. Career high 46 saves against the Oilers. 13 so far over the first 13 and a half minutes.
He's been real busy in that first two periods against Edmonton. The Blackhawks last game, they dictated the terms, and Crawford gave his team an opportunity to get back in that game trailing 1-0 heading to the third period.
Meanwhile, the Rangers, over their last 4 games, they've averaged 38 shots. Marcus Kruger with a wrist shot, sticked aside by Talbot. Nordstrom for the Blackhawks. Chased by Stahl. Gives the puck away to Hagelin. Rolls down into the Chicago zone with under 6 minutes to play, period 1.
Good shift there for the fourth line. Kruger, Nordstrom, and Shaw. And give your goaltender a breather. You got to play 200 feet away from your net.
David Rundblad for the Blackhawks. Paired with Kimmo Timonen, the 5-time Olympian. Timonen shoots in to the left of the Ranger goal. McDonough flips high in the air. Knocked down by Faust and then steered back the other way by Carcillo. James Shepard's pass deflected away from Dominic Moore. Carcillo for Richards. Blocked off by McDonough. McDonough lost his stick. Battle continues. Richards feeds Rundblad on the right point. Over to Chalmerson. Richards looked to center, hit off the side of the net. And Girardi clears the zone.
That was good keeping by David Rundblad. That puck was bouncing all around. He's able to keep it in, settle it down, get it over to his partner, Chalmerson, and was able to create a chance from about 60 feet out.
Shots are 13-7 Rangers. Blackhawks have had the only power play. Teravainen looking to feed for net. Teravainen with it once again. Out to Seabrook for a one-timer, saved by Talbot. And then a wrap-around attack by Vermette. Another penalty coming up against the Rangers. Crawford heads to the Blackhawks bench. The touch is made. Chicago to power play number 2. It is a hook. Derek Stepan to the box.
Well, there's Derek Stepan. There's the official, right? Watch. The hook on Teravainen, arm goes up. But look who's in the penalty box. It's Chris Kreider. And a break for the Rangers because Derek Stepan is one of the Ranger penalty killers.
Now the officials get together. Kreider wondering why he was sent to the box. And so are we. Kreider will remain in the box. As you said, it's a break for the Rangers.
No question.
Power play presented by Kia Motors. Second of the game for the Blackhawks. Taves, Versteeg, Hossa. Up front, Richards and Seabrook on the points. Rangers control. Girardi shoots the puck down ice. Dominic Moore, Carl Hagelin. Penalty killing forwards for the Rangers with McDonough and Girardi. Hagelin gets a stick on the puck. Good work here by Hagelin and Moore.
Speed and angles. And this is where a lot of the issues for the Blackhawks on their power play is their entries into the zone. And when you have a real quick, aggressive team, you got to have isolation, try to 2-on-1 one of those players as you're entering the zone.
Stepan battling for the puck. He's the player that should be in the box. A minute 15 remaining on the Ranger penalty as McDonough clears down ice.
Good patience there from McDonough. Took a quick little look as he got in behind the net, saw the open ice, and was able to fire it down and get a change.
New power play unit for the Blackhawks. Teravainen moves to his right. Takes the return from Patrick Sharp. Teravainen wrapped up by Klein. Stahl comes in. Saad with the puck. Saad up the boards. Sharp with a drive, and that gets blocked.
Job by Foss there. Good idea from Sharp. Teravainen did a heck of a job of getting that puck into the zone. At one point, I think there were all 4 Ranger penalty killers were within about 5 or 6 feet of him, and he was able to fight those guys off and set it up.
The final half minute of the Blackhawks power play. Shaw met by McDonough. Girardi lets to work the puck free. Now it's Hagelin. Cleared down ice by Moore. Sharp back to play it with 10 seconds on the Kreider penalty. Sharp into the Ranger zone. Taves sends in behind. Out of the box, Kreider. Blackhawks 0 for 2. Hossa with the puck. Knocked away by Kreider. Hagelin clears it ahead. Kreider into the Blackhawks zone. Cutting wide on Keith. Backhand shot. Saved by Crawford. Puck loose left side of the net. And Taves will carry out.
Boy, what a power move there from Kreider. Fresh out of the box. And then Duncan Keith went head first into the crossbar trying to defend Kreider.
Kreider backhands along. St. Louis across for Stepan. Under 2 minutes to go, first period. Shots are 14-8. Rangers, Blackhawks without a shot on goal on that last man advantage. Stepan for St. Louis. Spins away from Hjalmarsson. Hjalmarsson with the puck. With a minute and a half to go, first period. No score from the United Center in Chicago. Derek Brassard back for the Rangers. Kruger comes in. Nash sends it across for Yandel. Kevin Klein for Rick Nash. Looking for a cutting Brassard, blocked off.
He was open.
Shaw back the other way. 2 Rangers back.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Under a minute to go, first period. Kevin Klein, a defenseman leading the rush. Bouncer on goal, scooped up by Crawford.
You mentioned Rick Nash, and you talk about goal scoring. This is a guy that is a pure goal scorer. And Rick Nash with 38 goals on the year. Look at the effort coming all the way back. I mean, that's just great back pressure. And talked about that play by Chris Kreider. One-handed, good save from Corey Crawford. And watch Duncan Keith. I mean, he just goes right into that crossbar and ended up ducking his head. His head actually didn't hit the crossbar, but a dangerous play. And goes to show the strength of Chris Kreider to be able to take that puck wide and one-hand that puck towards Corey Crawford. 15 shot on goal, period.
JT Miller back on the ice for the Rangers. Blocked a shot earlier. Limped off to the bench. Puck held in by McDonough. With 35 seconds, backhand shot. Crawford the save with Hagelin setting the screen in front.
Another defenseman involved in a offensive play for the Rangers. And if you continue to allow their defensemen, and this is just a nice play, and it's not that hard of a shot, but he gets through, and that's the key. But a lot of these chances, the Ranger defenseman with 11 attempts from the back end, their defenseman directing the puck towards the net. If the Blackhawks are going to allow the Rangers to continue to do that, they're going to just, the Rangers are going to keep coming. I mean, they're just going to keep generating opportunities from their defensemen.
They've doubled up the Blackhawks in the shots department. 16-8 there in period 1. 20 seconds remaining. Taves for Saad. Cross-ice pass. Hossa Knocked down as he attempted to shoot. Rangers come back 4-on-2. McDonough looking for Brassard. Chalmerson got a stick in. Final seconds. Puck pinned in front of the Rangers bench, and that will do it.
Another good back check there by Rick Nash on Marian Hossa. Maybe one too many passes for the Rangers. Coming back with that offensive opportunity. There's Nash again coming all the way back, and not sure if he ever made contact with his skates, but a missed opportunity there for Hossa.
Coming up on the Lexus first period intermission report, Catherine Tappan, Jeremy Roenick, and Keith Jones, Talbot, and Crawford stopped a combined 24 shots in period one of the wild card race coming into focus. That's coming up on the Lexus intermission report. Original six matchup here in Chicago. Blackhawks had the only two power plays, could not score. 16 shots for the Rangers, 8 for the Blackhawks. No score after 20 minutes. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by Warner Brothers Pictures. Run all night in theaters everywhere March 13th. Back in Chicago, Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, we get set for the second period. Rangers, Blackhawks, scoreless. Good friends, longtime teammates in Tampa, reunited last year with the Rangers. Marty St. Louis, the Hart Trophy winner, as regular season MVP in 2004. And Brad Richards won the Conn Smythe Trophy as postseason MVP. They were the last set of teammates to win both awards in the same season.
Two guys that were having some fun in the hallway before warm-ups here tonight at the United Center. Tremendous careers on both sides of the table there with St. Louis and Richards.
Very close with one another. St. Louis would stay at Richards' apartment on game days last year after his trade to the Rangers for Ryan Callahan. Shot by Chalmerson, misses the net. Rangers outshot the Blackhawks 16-8 in the first period. Keith Yandle winds the puck around. Held in by Chalmerson. Yandle once again tied up by combination of Taves and Hossa. Chris Versteeg on the puck. Centers, picked off in front by Yandle, can't clear. Hossa knocked it down. And now the puck deflects out into the neutral zone.
A good stick again by Rick Nash. Blackhawks with a good opportunity there to sustain a little pressure offensively, and the excellent stick by Nash stopped everything.
Chris Kreider with a long pass for St. Louis. Rolling in on Crawford, and he hits the post. Kreider for St. Louis out in front, looking for Stepan, picked off and cleared by Duncan Keith.
Oh, great pass there from Chris Kreider.
Now a shot by Vermette, knocked down and covered by Talbot.
We'd expect chances in the second period with the long change, and from our Wendy's RoboCam, Marty St. Louis is able to pick up that hot pass from Chris Kreider, settles the puck down, beats Crawford to the blocker side, and just off the far post. You know, the transition game of both these teams here in the second period would expect to lead to more chances like that, because both sets of defensemen on both sides could really move that puck up front to the forwards.
Right, with the long change in the second period.
It's the farthest away from your defensive zone, so more opportunity to create odd man situations.
One of the reasons why the goaltenders now switch sides prior to overtime during the regular season. Looking for more offense, more scoring.
Well, that was suggested when they started to do that, the 4-on-4, and not sure why they didn't go with it right away, but eventually I think they have gotten it right, and you would tend to think that it would lend to more opportunities in overtime.
Better late than never. Face off to the right of Talbot. We remain scoreless early second period in Chicago. Rundblad with a shot. Sticked aside by Talbot. Sharp. Hossa moves it up the boards. Rundblad with a drive. Saved by Talbot again. And James Shepard carries out. Off the stick of Crawford. He wasn't happy about it. Then it rolls away from Dominic Moore. Here's Patrick Sharp cutting wide on Boyle, who takes him to the boards in front of the Blackhawks bench.
That was old-fashioned hip check hockey there by Dan Boyle. Sharp had some good steam moving straight ahead, and Boyle just eliminated him.
2.5 in, second period. Richards tied up by Shepard. Out for Sharp. His shot gets blocked by Moore. Jesper Foss softly shoots in and then heads for the Ranger bench. Seabrook couldn't find the puck. Here is Kreider looking to set up St. Louis.
Good recovery there by Hjalmarsson defensively.
Puck carried ahead by Taves. Hossa. Hossa with a shot. Saved by Talbot. And he covers.
There's that good transition hockey by the Blackhawks, and go back to that good hard hit there. Boyle on Sharp, and made mention of it in the first period, Kenny. Defenseman for the Rangers getting involved in the offense. Here's an opportunity. Nobody in front of the net. Easy save there for Talbot, and that shot came from David Rundblad. As a defenseman there, you get the puck and you're waiting, you're hoping, you're waiting for somebody to get to the front net. Eventually, you just got to let it go because somebody's going to come and pressure you or maybe get in that shooting lane. So again, the forwards need to do a better job of getting to the front of the net to try to give Talbot, if it's the Blackhawks or for the Rangers in front of Crawford, give him something to think about.
Rangers scored only 1 goal in their last game. Blackhawks scored only 1 in their last game. Won it in the shootout. No score so far tonight. Blackhawks heading with the first 5 shots here in the second period. Broussard shoots it into the Blackhawks zone. Roosevelt beat Crowder to the puck. Stepan keeps it in the zone. Now Hjalmarsson and St. Louis. Vermette ahead for Teravainen. Saad through the crease and wide. Kruger lets it go through. Teravainen for Saad. Saad wrapped up by Yandel, who knocked the puck away. Kreider sends one off the stanchion, so the play blown dead with 4:22 gone here in period 2.
But there might have been a high stick on Keith Yandel. Good play by Teravainen. This puck's going to go to Brandon Saad, and then there you see the quick little stick there of Keith Yandel. Saad continues to play on. The puck, you mentioned it, Kenny, back in the first period. Teuvo Teravainen, very noticeable. The puck is finding him in the offensive zone. Mates, as a player, you just know that the puck's going to find its way to you.
Now a save by Crawford on JT Miller. First Ranger shot of the second period. Rundblad back to pick it up. That's by the forechecking Hagelin. Shaw had it knocked off his stick, but Hagelin still in the zone. Rangers offside. Saturday at 12 a.m. Eastern, Formula One returns to NBCSN for a brand new season. Racing's royalty depart on another world tour. The Australian Grand Prix, live March 14th. Neutral zone face-off. Brad Richards, Dominic Moore. Keith Yandel playing his 3rd game as a member of the New York Rangers.
Nice little play there by Yandel as Carcillo was in on the forecheck, banked it off the back of the net in behind Talbot to himself and was able to move it up those left wing boards.
Well, he's had some pretty good coaching starting back in high school at Cushing Academy. The assistant coach when Keith Yandel played there was Ray Bork, whose son Chris was on the team.
Not going to get any better teaching than that.
And then he begins his NHL career in Phoenix. His head coach, Wayne Gretzky. Not many.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere from there.
Yeah, not many hockey players can say they played for both Bork and Gretzky, right?
Absolutely.
Versteeg, near corner for the Blackhawks. Versteeg keeps it alive. Spun around by Shepard. Held in at the right point by Roosevelt. Taves and Moore. Klein comes in. Versteeg as well.
Much better period here by the Blackhawks to start the second period.
Hossa across for Keith, and that's blocked by Klein. Keith with the puck again. Leaves it for Versteeg. Keith keeps the puck alive. Hossa with a shot, and that's blocked. This time it's Yandel.
Two huge shot blocks by the defenseman there. First one by Klein, that last one, as you mentioned, Kenny, by Yandel.
Keith's pass over the stick of Taves. Puck knocked out of trouble by Zuccarello, and now carried ahead by Brassard. This pass behind Nash. Sent quickly ahead by Keith for Versteeg, who shoots in.
Too many men on the ice. Too many men on the ice for the Blackhawks, it looks like.
First power play for the Rangers. Early second period, no score.
There was too many men on the ice, but it's going to be on the Rangers, not the Blackhawks. I thought they were calling for Jonathan Taves being the extra guy on the ice, but clearly the Rangers with one too many on the ice. And JT Miller is going to serve that penalty, so an opportunity for the home team on the power play.
Third power play for the Blackhawks. Taves, Versteeg, Hossa up front with Keith and Seabrook as the Rangers clear the puck down ice. Blackhawks are now 0 for their last 11, 2 for their last 26.
Good stick there by McDonough, and a lot of it stems from the entries. Teams are going to line up 4 players across the blue line. You got to shoot the puck in and go get it.
Seabrook fires in. Girardi keeps it away from Taves. McDonough behind the net, along with Versteeg. Puck played by Hossa. He gives it away to Hagelin with Moore. Rangers offside while shorthanded with 42 seconds gone on the bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice. Rangers now send out Rick Nash, who's been terrific on the penalty kill this year, Eddie. 4 shorthanded goals. Alain Vigneault was not a fan of using players on both the power play and the penalty kill. Last January, the Red Wings played at Madison Square Garden. Mike Babcock asked Alain Vigneault if he would start using Nash on the penalty kill to prepare him for the Olympics, because he was going to be used in that role. And the rest is history.
Become a threat, and I think obviously all players want to play in every situation, and he's just thriving in it.
Vigneault said, "I did it to help Babs and Team Canada." They won gold. Sharp with a shot, deflects wide. Now Saad out for Kimmo Timonen. Now Saad to Sharp. Third power play for the Blackhawks. Karavainen backs it up, slides it across off the stick of Timonen.
Great idea there.
And Karavainen deflects it into the corner. And it's cleared out by Kevin Klein. 25 seconds remaining on the Blackhawks power play. Sharp carries the puck through the neutral zone. Shaw and Girardi. Girardi comes away with the puck and clears, and that will do it for the Rangers penalty.
Really good play there from Girardi. Just outworked Shaw, won the battle, and it's one of the reasons why a struggling power play is just not able to retrieve that puck off a shooting.
Blackhawks now 0 for 3. Puck deflected along by Brassard. Seabrook back. Hossa. Blackhawks, Eddie, on their 3 power plays, only 1 shot combined on all 3. Keith, Roosevelt. Hossa back to Roosevelt. Versteeg has his shot blocked by McDonough. Keith beats Zuccarello to the puck. Hossa on the left point. Nice give and go. Versteeg in the corner. Versteeg cuts away from Girardi. Now to Taves. And then Hossa. Keith with a drive right on. And a chest save Talbot hangs on to it.
Well, great puck possession by the Blackhawks, but the Rangers do a better job of really keeping them to the outside. Blackhawks try to cause a little bit of confusion there, flip-flopping Roosevelt and Keith, defensemen on either side. Looks like Talbot's got a little bit of an issue. It looks like it's his pad strap there on his right leg that's going to have to get some attention. But a real good shift there for the Blackhawks, but the Rangers are able to keep them to the outside, and you can have all the possession you want, but keep the puck to the outside, and you'll live with shots like the one that Keith had, especially with nobody standing in front of the net to create a screen as Girardi ties up Chris Versteeg. Well, Kenny, you made mention of Rick Nash a little bit earlier on the penalty killing side, and I mean, that's just tremendous effort. Coming all the way back, never too late to come all the way back. Trips up Hossa a little bit here, and then there's a real good defensive play as well early in the second period, and you see the numbers. Those numbers don't lie, but it's those little extra plays that has allowed him to take his game to another level.
Nash had killed penalties years ago for Ken Hitchcock in Columbus, but it had been a number of years since. The Premier League weekend is on NBCSN. League-leading Chelsea hosts Southampton next Sunday morning at 8:30 Eastern. Weekend coverage begins Saturday morning at 8 Eastern as Crystal Palace hosts QPR. The Premier League weekend is on NBCSN. Good work by Rangers equipment manager Cass Marks as Talbot heads back into his crease. .43 remaining, second period. Still no score.
Quality chances for both teams. No question the home team, the Blackhawks, have been the better team here in the second period.
Dan Boyle moves the puck up the left side. Kreider unable to clear the zone. Here's Teravainen. Spins, then shoots on the backhand of the stick save by Talbot. Teravainen leaving it for Vermette.
Nice pass.
Derek Stepan for the Rangers for Mark Stahl. Kreider off the stick of St. Louis. Roosevelt, the ex-Ranger. Teravainen for Saad. Bouncing puck, kept alive by Versteeg. Keith moves it into the corner. Saad centers. Kreider on it for the Rangers. McDonough into the Blackhawk zone. Keith for Nordstrom. Taken away by Zuccarello. Up the boards, Girardi. Now McDonough. Big drive from the circle, knocked down by the glove of Crawford.
Rangers have some fresh bodies on the ice up front. Two tighter defensemen out there.
Now a centering pass for Zuccarello.
Roosevelt and Keith.
That shot by McDonough. Only the second of the period for the Rangers.
And Crawford fought that one off, and looks like there's going to be a penalty here. Looking at Andrew Shaw.
Shaw to the box for hooking.
Well, last chance, as you mentioned, Kenny, from Ryan McDonough. Pass from Derek Brassard. There's that opportunity, and Crawford just fights that one off, not able to absorb that and get a whistle with a couple of tighter defensemen on the ice. A nice try there from Brassard to Zuccarello, standing right in front of the net.
Shaw for hooking, 10:44. Rangers with the 10th ranked power play, just 3 for their last 25. Blackhawks third on the penalty kill. Blackhawks did not have to kill a penalty Friday night, and this is the first Ranger power play tonight. Keep an eye on Yandel, 93, among the league leaders in power play assists and points this season with the Arizona Coyotes.
Can really run a power play and not afraid to shoot that puck from the back end as well.
Boyle carries the puck up ice. Broussard stays onside. Hossa looks to clear. Kept alive by Boyle. Now a shot by Nash. Here's Yandel. Picked off by Seabrook. And then cleared out by Taves. Midway through the first New York Rangers power play. Boyle for Broussard. Now Zuccarello. Spun around by Seabrook. Zuccarello back on his skates. Puck comes up the boards for Yandel. Now McDonough. Yandel to McDonough. Blocked in front. Zuccarello keeps it alive. 30 seconds on the power play. McDonough fakes a shot. Hits Yandel. McDonough to the far circle. Zuccarello. Zuccarello for Nash. Yandel to McDonough. Nash keeps it alive. Final 5 seconds of the Blackhawks penalty. Zuccarello shot deflected wide by Yandel. Penalty is over. Shaw out of the box. Blackhawks have iced the puck, but they kill off the Rangers' first power play. The Rangers' Keith Yandel is tonight's player profile with insights from SAP. All of these numbers while with the Coyotes. Tied for 7th in the league in power play points, 2nd in power play assists.
And of those power play assists, 7 are primary assists. So passing the puck to somebody that puts the puck in to the back of the net, and the great venture with the National Hockey League and SAP really kind of break down those numbers and up and down. So Keith Yandel, an important part moving forward for the Rangers with the man advantage. And the Blackhawks using their timeout.
Following the icing, Yandel playing his 3rd game with the Rangers. And you look at the consecutive game streaks among active players. 2 of the top 3 in this game, they were teammates until just over a week ago, Vermette and Yandel. Only Andrew Cogliano of the Ducks has played in more consecutive games. Now it's 6:07. When Yandel found out about the trade, he received a phone call from General Manager Don Maloney. He was at a 4-year-old birthday party for his daughter at a place called Jumpy House. From Jumpy House to Madison Square Garden in about 30 hours. Puck deflects out of play. Do you remember where was the strangest place that you were when you found out about a trade?
I was in a delivery room. November 10th, 1990. I got traded from the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Winnipeg Jets. My wife was in labor, and I got called out of the delivery room to tell me that I was traded.
I think that beats the Jumpy House story.
Yeah, well, my wife was not too thrilled when I came back in the delivery room after taking the call. I didn't have a cell phone back in 1990, but went to the nurse's station, and the Maple Leafs told me they had just traded me. So I ended up being in Winnipeg for almost 6+ years, and one of the best places I ever played.
One of your ex-teammates in Winnipeg behind the Rangers bench, Scott Arniel, member of Alain Vigneault's staff. He also coached the Chicago Wolves a couple of years back.
They were the front team of the Vancouver Canucks at that particular time. Now the St. Louis Blues make the Wolves their minor league affiliate.
Puck rolls slowly towards Cam Talbot. Both teams make player changes. We approach 6 minutes remaining in period 2. No score here in Chicago.
Another good play there by Teravainen in the middle of the ice there.
Now Saad with a shot. This is the net. Caroms all the way around and down into the Blackhawks zone. Seabrook gives it away to Stepan. Boyle with a shot. That gets blocked by Saad. Vermette taken to the boards by Kreider. Now an opportunity for St. Louis and a save by Crawford. St. Louis back out for Boyle. Boyle watched by Vermette. Stepan with the puck.
No, that lane closed really quick by Boyle there. Saad was able to get over there and get in that lane.
Knocked out at the line by Yandel. Vermette in pursuit. Rangers keep it alive. Now Vermette knocks it ahead. Saad with Teravainen. 3 Rangers back. Teravainen tied up by Keith Yandel. End of a long shift. Stepan shoots in. And under 5 minutes remaining in period 2. Roosevlt's pass skips away from Hossa. Hossa and Girardi. Puck knocked up the boards by Brassard. McDonough. Turned back for Jonathan Toews. Hossa dropping it off, but Versteeg could not get to it. Shots are 21-16 Rangers. Blackhawks with an 8-5 edge here in the second period. Chicago offside. 4:20 on the clock. Period 2. Still no score.
Great work here by Chris Kreider, and then Marty St. Louis able to get into this area of the ice. Watch the coverage by the team in red. Everybody goes towards the puck, and all of a sudden here comes St. Louis with a quality chance. Good save from Crawford.
St. Louis hit a post earlier in the second period. Rangers and Blackhawks remain scoreless. Here comes Kruger. Kruger first to the puck. Stahl. Backhands ahead. Knocked down by Nordstrom. Stahl goes the other way for Klein. Off the skate of Andrew Shaw. An alert play by Talbot. And then he makes the save on Nordstrom. Andrew Shaw with the puck. Rundblad pitching. Rundblad and Hagelin. Now Saad has it knocked away by Stahl. Hayes and Shaw come together.
Good battle there with Hayes and Shaw.
Albertson keeps it alive for the Blackhawks to Kruger. Kruger knocked down by Stahl. And Hagelin will clear. Took a hard hit from Shaw. Seabrook for Jalmerson. Both teams make player changes. 3 minutes remaining.
Long shift here for Stahl.
Teravainen lost the puck. Knocked out of the zone by Boyle. Race for the puck. Shepard beaten to it by Seabrook. Rangers are offside.
Well, a turnover by Kevin Klein, and you made mention of it. Cam Talbot coming out and saving the day with Joakim Nordstrom right in front.
Talbot starting for the 15th time in the last 16 games in the absence of Henrik Lundqvist. His backup is 20-year-old Mackenzie Skapski, who won his only start in Buffalo. And you were talking about delivery rooms, Eddie. The day Skapski was born, my guess is you were pretty tired. You didn't sleep that day. You know why?
We won the Stanley Cup?
The day before.
Oh, the day before. All right.
Skapski born on June 15th, 1994. The day after the Rangers beat the Canucks in Game 7. Not much sleep? No sleep?
No sleep.
Here's Hossa down the left wing. Penalty coming up. He had Versteeg on his right. Blackhawks will go on their 4th power play of the night. It's an interference call. Dominic Moore.
Good back check there by James Shepard, coming all the way back on that back check there to deny the opportunity from Richards to Versteeg. 2-on-1 breakdown in the middle of the ice. And there's the penalty on Dominic Moore with Teravainen right in the middle.
Second penalty. Teravainen is strong tonight.
He's been strong. You picked up on that right away, Kenny, and he's been very active. When you're that active, you're going to get rewarded.
4th Chicago power play. 0 for 3 with only 1 shot. Toews had it poked away by Stepan. Here's Nash shooting down. Quick change. Nash and Stepan to the bench. 30 seconds gone on the Blackhawks' 4th man advantage. Duncan Keith into the Rangers zone for Andrew Shaw. Dropping it off for a shot by Taves, and that misses the net. Seabrook for Hossa. And now Taves. Broken up by Hagelin, and then cleared out by McDonough.
Another couple good sticks there by the Rangers in their own zone. Rangers have 15 shot blocks in this game.
Jonathan Taves back into the Ranger end. Good pressure by Klein, and now Stepan looking for a breaking Nash. Instead gets it to Klein. And is cleared the length of the ice by Stahl. 40 seconds to go on the Moore penalty. A minute 15 remaining, second period.
Missed opportunity at this point for the home team with this man advantage.
Timonen flips on net, blocked into the corner by Talbot. And then cleared down ice by Girardi.
1 minute remaining.
20 seconds remaining on the power play. Under a minute to go. Period 2. Teravainen with speed to the Ranger line. Dropping it off. Richards to the far side for Sharp. Sharp with a shot off the goalpost and deflects out of play.
You see the reaction from Patrick Sharp. First off, a real good entry by Teuvo Teravainen to set the puck up. Richards walks through the middle, gets the puck to Patrick Sharp, and he airmails it up and over Talbot and right off the crossbar into the netting. He has speed through the middle of the ice. It pushes back to the defense, but you got to have outlets. And when Teravainen entered the zone, he had an outlet on either side, and that helped generate a chance within 5 seconds of that entry.
Final seconds of the power play for the Blackhawks. Seabrook onto the stick of Saad in front. Good play by Stepan to keep it away from Vermette. Rangers clear more out of the box. Down to 30 seconds on the clock, period 2. So the Blackhawks now 0 for 4 on the power play. Stick save by Talbot on the shot from Seabrook.
That was a difficult stop. I think from my vantage point, it looked like that puck was on edge.
3-on-2 for the Rangers. Broussard looking to get it through to St. Louis. Jalmerson makes a nice defensive play. Down to 10 seconds. Zuccarello. Out to the right point for Stahl. 5 seconds remaining. Zuccarello in front. Deflects away from St. Louis. Up and over the glass. With 1/10 of a second on the clock.
Much better period here in the second team for the Blackhawks. The Rangers had the better of play in the first period, so something certainly has to give to the third period.
Blackhawks outshot the Rangers 12-5 in the second. Crawford has stopped all 21 Ranger shots. Talbot at the other end has turned aside all 20 Blackhawk attempts. Coming up on the Discover Card, second intermission report, Catherine, JR, and Keith Jones. We'll talk about the Hawks. They're in good hands with Teravainen, who's been one of the best players on the ice tonight. Got to look at the Western Conference playoff picture that's coming up on the Discover Card second intermission report from the United Center in Chicago. 41 shots through 40 minutes. No score. Rangers and Blackhawks. Discover Card intermission report is next. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by the Discover It Card. It's a game changer. And by the Red Hook Beer Battered Cod Sandwich at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. We welcome you back to Chicago. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk. Terrific goaltending, Eddie, on both sides.
Well, back in the first period, the Rangers took control. Second period, the Blackhawks had control. Talbot, outstanding. 20 shots, 20 saves. And for Corey Crawford, 21 shots, 21 saves. A couple of real difficult ones back in that first period. Right on the, squarely on the shoulders of both goaltenders when this scoreless game.
Rangers had the edge in the first period and shot 16-8 in the second. Blackhawks 12-5.
Missed opportunities for the Blackhawks in this game with the power play chances that they've had through 2 periods of play.
Rangers have also blocked 16 shots. Blackhawks only 4. Chicago 0 for 4 on the power play. Rangers 0 for 1. Zuccarello deflects the puck along. Seabrook sends it around. Comes to Nash, looking for Zuccarello in front. Girardi could not hold in.
Good stick by Hjalmarsson in front of the net. Not allowing that puck to get to Zuccarello.
Zuccarello deflects the puck in deep. Hjalmarsson for Seabrook. Played at center by Girardi. Crawford will stop it for Hjalmarsson as both teams make changes. Opening minute, third period in Chicago. These teams will meet again in 11 days at Madison Square Garden. Stahl moves the puck up ice for St. Louis. For the Blackhawks line, Stahl. Chris Kreider. Out for Derek Stepan. Shot deflected wide to the left. Keith able to clear with help from Saad, and then Stepan shoots back in. More quick player changes as Duncan Keith from the red line shoots in. Talbot waiting. Talbot pressured behind the net by Shaw. JT Miller and Andrew Shaw. And now Yandel up the middle for Hayes. Kimmo Timonen, who will turn 40 years of age in 10 days. Nordstrom sends one in front, but Klein knocks it out of trouble. Now Kruger with a shot. Held in by Timonen. For Shaw. Shaw taken down by Hagelin. Play continues. Here's Shaw dropping it off, but it was behind Carcillo. And Hagelin clears the puck out for Jesper Fast. Now Keith Yandel looking for the return to Fast. Roosevelt on it for the Blackhawks.
Slow change because it's a turnover by Shaw, and that was a 4-on-2 and never got a shot on goal for the Rangers.
Fast battling with Sharp. Boyle controls for the Rangers. 2.5 in, third period. Still scoreless. Boyle up the middle. More to Fast. Fast throws in front, knocked down by Roosevelt. Sharp chips it ahead for Carcillo. He can't clear. Fast holds in for the Rangers. Roosevelt and Shepard. Puck comes out in front for Fast, and a big save by Crawford. Dominic Moore. Moore keeps it away from Roosevelt. Now Richards clears to center. Carcillo chips it in deep. Both teams make changes with 3 minutes gone by in the third. Dangerous pass by Girardi. Knocked back behind the Ranger net. James Shepard gets the puck out. Jonathan Toews for Chris Versteeg. Versteeg with a shot. And that misses the net to the left. Hossa. Saved by Talbot. Hjalmarsson with a shot deflected by Toews. Another save by Talbot. Chris Versteeg with the puck just inside the right point. Wines keeps it away from McDonough. With Broussard for Girardi. And Zuccarello will clear the zone.
A little bit of a push, little surge here by the home team.
Rick Nash on the right side. Nash lost it to Versteeg. 4 minutes in, third period. Each team with 2 shots in the period. Good saves on both ends. Crawford stops the puck behind the net, looking for Teravainen. Pressured by Klein. Vermette settles things down for Duncan Keith. Kreider shoots it right back. Vermette. Broken up by Klein. Hagelin on the puck. Directs it back to St. Louis. And now Keith Yandle. Knocked to the ice by Saad. St. Louis into the Blackhawk zone for Hagelin. Hagelin fans on his shot. And Kruger sends it ahead. Nordstrom poked away by Dan Boyle.
Couple of real good sticks here the last couple of minutes on either side. Just denying possible odd man situations going one way or the other.
Here come the Blackhawks. Nordstrom shoots in.
Another one there right at the blue line.
Andrew Shaw moves it up to the right point. Kept away from Rundblad by Hayes. Kevin Hayes down the left side. Hayes to the net. And now a shot by J.T. Miller. Knocked back behind the goal. Rundblad is on it there. Shaw with Richards. Richards takes the pass. Forced wide by Boyle. Out in front. Sent through the crease by Shaw.
Beautiful little pass there from Richards to Shaw at the end of a long shift.
Keith knocks the puck down. Hayes on it for the Rangers. Puck deflected down into the Blackhawk zone. More player changes with 6 minutes gone here in the third. Carcillo to Richards. Two former Rangers. Richards with a shot. Stick save. Talbot on a glove save as he robs Patrick Sharp on the rebound attempt. We remain scoreless in Chicago.
Chances here the last couple of minutes. Richards with a shot, big rebound coming. Talbot denies Patrick Sharp with a chance. Richards to Shaw, just misses the far post. And a little bit earlier than that, James Shepard to Fost in front. Good stop from Corey Crawford.
Great chances on both ends. Blackhawks control the faceoff. Jalverson for Versteeg. Versteeg up the boards. Held in by Hossa. Jonathan Toews wrapped up by McDonough. Nash comes in. Seabrook for Versteeg. And now Toews. Toews looks to come out in front. Zuccarello on the puck for the Rangers. Looking for Nash. Broken up by Seabrook. Blackhawks come out of their own zone. Seabrook flips down. And this will be an icing call against Chicago.
It was one of those games, Kenny, where when you have the momentum, it's what do you do with it? Yes, both these teams are looking for the first goal of the game, but how do you take advantage of it? Do you maybe draw a penalty? And if you don't have it, how do you first stop it and then get it back on your side? And that's the chess match that goes on. This looks like it might be another icing there that was waved off. When you're in these close games, this is playoff hockey right here, really.
Saad with a shot. Saad to the puck. Centers. Trotter with a good defensive play. St. Louis racing after the puck. St. Louis forced off by Roosevelt.
Nice defensive play there. St. Louis really had no options there because Kreider did a good job of just chipping the puck into the middle, into the neutral zone there, and he was 1 against 2.
Vermette clears the puck ahead, loose at center. St. Louis back into the Blackhawks zone. Chicago 25 shots. Rangers with 24. 12:20 on the clock, third period. Kevin Hayes in behind the net for Carl Hagelin. Back to Hayes through his skates. Puck forced out. Hayes beats Nordstrom to it. Now Kruger off the giveaway by Stahl. Backhand shot saved by Talbot on Shaw.
Quick little backhand there after the turnovers you mentioned, Kenny, by Stahl.
Jalverson shoots back in. Broussard and Richards come together. Nash over as well. Richards keeps it alive. Richards with a long shot. Sticked into the corner by Talbot. Battle for the puck. Richards and Klein. Now Broussard and Versteeg. Hossa comes in. Looks to walk it out in front. Puck knocked back behind. Klein is on it there. Now Nash. Nash coming in 1-on-3. Zuccarello sends in deep. Keith for the Blackhawks with 11 minutes remaining. Hossa to Keith for the Ranger line. Bouchard settles things down. McDonough steps away from Sharp. McDonough met by Taves. Sharp with the puck. Down the right wing. But the Blackhawks are offside.
Oh, Carcillo just a step in too quick, anticipating that pass from Patrick Sharp and from our Wendy's RoboCam. The giveaway by Stahl, and then the quick little backhander from Shaw. Good save from Talbot. Good rebound control. Getting a little help there from Kevin Hayes. The Blackhawks were looking for a second or third chance opportunity. You mentioned it, Kenny. Back in the first period, the Rangers with 16 shots in the first period. In the first 20 minutes of play, we're approaching 30 minutes later, and they've only got 8 since that last second came off the clock in the first period.
And the Blackhawks have 18. They remain scoreless. Talbot and Crawford have combined to stop all 50 shots. Possible shot saved by Crawford, and another save on Yandel.
Simple play. And the longer we go, it's going to be one of those type of plays. If somebody can't score one in regulation or in overtime, Foss with the quick shot, and the puck came right out in front. There's not great rebound control here by Corey Crawford. Watch where this puck goes. Usually when you shoot it off the pad like this, it goes far to the right side. Watch where this puck comes out. I mean, it comes right back to the front of the net there. Rundblad's there, clears it out, and it goes right to Keith Yandel with a quality chance following up.
Blackhawks control the face-off. Outlet pass by Keith behind Saad. Backhanded along by Teravainen for Vermette. Puts on the brakes, sends towards the net, covered by Talbot.
Go back to that play again, Kenny, that Foss made when he threw the puck to the net, and talked about the acquisition of Keith Yandel. He gives the Rangers that look from the back end to be able to jump into the play, recognize where the open ice might be. Left part of your screen, the bottom right here, he comes right in. That's Yandel recognizing the puck might come into that area. If it doesn't, he can just do a quick little stop, turn, come back, pivot, and get back into his play. But the quality chance there because of the recognition by Yandel offensively.
Midway through the third period, Rangers and Blackhawks scoreless. Kevin Hayes shoots the puck in. Roosevelt hit by Miller. Puck set ahead by Vermette, not out. Held in by Hayes. Keith to Vermette, and now Saad.
Nice little play by Keith to have Vermette in the middle of the ice there.
Roosevelt throws in front, picked off by Hayes. Versteeg on it for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks have won 4 of their last 5. Rangers 9-1-3. Only 1 regulation loss over their last 13 games. Taves knocked to the ice. Battle for the puck. Hossa and Foss. Now Taves and McDonough come in.
Good work here. I mean, this is tiring work along those boards.
Left point, Timo Timonen. Versteeg directs it into the corner for Taves. Under 9 minutes remaining. Taves winds it around. Rundblad comes in from the right point. Moore plays the puck ahead to Shepard.
Nice job by Moore there to block off Rundblad for not keeping that play alive. Just winning a simple battle along the boards.
Jalmerson back in. Talbot moves it to the near side for Girardi. 8.5 remaining, third period. Shots are 26 apiece. No score. Broussard with Nash. Broussard tries to split through the defense. Seabrook over to play the puck. Nordstrom with 2 Rangers back. Boyle met by Nordstrom. Nordstrom lost the puck. Nash puts it ahead. Kept in momentarily by Jalmerson. Blackhawks stay onside. Here's Shaw. His shot is blocked by Boyle and deflects to the netting. We've played just over 52 minutes here at the United Center. Still no score. Wednesday night rivalry is on NBCSN. The league's top 2 goal scorers collide. Rick Nash and the Rangers take on Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals. Covers begin Wednesday at 7 Eastern on NBCSN. Wednesday night rivalry, the night you love to hate. Rangers have a game on Tuesday night against the New York Islanders. And then rivalry night in our nation's capital on Wednesday. Kreider moves in, and a sprawling save by Crawford.
What a huge stop there. Simple play from Klein to Kreider. Got in behind the defense. Great chance.
Kreider back in on the right wing. Drops it off for Kleider's shot. Another save by Crawford. St. Louis turnaround shot save. Step on with a chance as well. Blackhawks have iced the puck.
A couple of great chances for the Rangers. Marty St. Louis, great chance, down, step on, in behind, and another tremendous save from Corey Crawford. And there's the one that started it all. The chance for Chris Kreider, right pad save and a beauty.
Nash with a long shot, misses the net to the right. Zuccarello with 7 minutes remaining in a scoreless game. Moves to the net, and his shot winds up out of play, off the netting.
It looked like that puck rolled on Zuccarello, and Corey Crawford, I think this is his best year in the National Hockey League. He started off like gangbusters, had an off-ice injury, came back, struggled for a couple of weeks, was inconsistent for that time, pulled in a game, but seems to be finding his game as of late.
He's been tremendous tonight. He has stopped all 31 Rangers shots.
And that last sequence there, Kenny, that doesn't get any better than that. I mean, especially when you look at the clock. And he's not exactly getting a lot of help offensively over the course of the last 15, 20 games either.
Hoser with a shot. One save by Talbot, loose in front. Knocked out of trouble by Brassard. And then forced out of the zone by Rick Nash.
I think Henrik Lundqvist certainly knows about that over the years. We're not getting a lot of offensive help. That was Lundqvist-like Corey Crawford there.
Until the last 2 years under the Alain Vigneault system, Rangers
no question.
scoring a lot more, but that was not the case prior.
Playing with the puck a lot more and generating, creating, and playing 200 feet away from your goaltender.
Hayes looks to bank it in off Crawford. Comes to Yandel. And now Boyle. His shot gets blocked by Timonen. Flipped ahead by Kruger. Sent deep into the Ranger zone by Shaw. Nordstrom canceled out by Yandel. 5:45 on the clock, third period. JT Miller in on the left wing. Hagelin behind the net for Hayes. Out in front for a backhand shot and a save by Crawford on Miller.
What a beautiful pass there from Kevin Hayes in behind the net.
Boyle back in. Miller with the return. Cross-ice pass to Moore. Leaves it for Shepard. Boyle fires wide.
Got fresh bodies on the ice right now for the Rangers.
Fost unable to get the shot away.
Good help from Sharp defensively.
Here's Saad. Cuts it on the right side. Richards was tied up by Boyle. Now the long reach of Stahl keeps the puck away from Saad. Shepard into the Blackhawk zone. Moore could not handle the pass. Saad back the other way. Now Klein across to Stahl with 4:45 remaining. Shepard, poke checked off his stick. Richards for Hjalmarsson. Blackhawks offside. Big saves by Corey Crawford. He has stopped all 32 Rangers shots.
Usually this time of year in his prior life, he was with the Chicago Cubs for a boatload of years. Spring training going on right now for both baseball teams. And John McDonough, the man in charge for the Blackhawks.
Tremendous atmosphere as usual here at United Center.
Their sellout.
Over 22,000. 22,160 on hand. Blackhawks 2 Stanley Cup championships over the last 6 years. 2010 and again in 2013. Shot by Vermette. Deflects wide. Roosevelt in behind for Saad. Roosevelt. Talbot will stop it behind the net with 4 minutes remaining. Kreider unable to clear out. Kept alive by Teravainen. Saved by Talbot. Vermette could not get to the rebound.
Nice idea there from Teravainen.
Teravainen keeps it alive. Now Stepan. Up the boards for Kreider. Keith pinching. Kreider backhands along. Knocked down by the glove of Vermette. And then carried out by Stepan. 3.5 to play in regulation. Shots are 32-28 Rangers. We remain scoreless. Ryan McDonough, no relation to John. Off the stick of Nash and then cleared out by Hjalmarsson. Although he is related to Steve Walsh. Remember the old NFL quarterback? He's Ryan McDonough's uncle.
He played here with the Bears, I think.
He did?
For a handful of years.
Zuccarello chases the puck down.
Good strength there from Zuccarello winning that battle on Seabrook.
Puck forced out by Versteeg. Took it away from Girardi. But then Zuccarello able to make the play. Nash stayed on side.
Too many men on the ice for the Blackhawks. Too many men on the ice.
Rangers were caught earlier, and now Chicago with 2:38 remaining.
Well, that quick transition, and it was the back check. It was the back check of Matt Zuccarello that caused that whole play. Here's Zuccarello. This is the play I'm talking about. He forces this whole thing. Watch. Look at the effort. He comes all the way back, lifts up the stick, and then throws the puck back up the ice. That's what draws the penalty.
Second power play for the Rangers. Kreider, Stepan, St. Louis up front with Yandel and Boyle. 2.5 to play. No score. St. Louis for Yandel. Let's back up off his knee. St. Louis right circle for Yandel straight away. He shoots, deflected, never made it through to Crawford. St. Louis with the puck. Now Yandel. And then Boyle shanks the shot. Kreider winds it around. St. Louis controls. Yandel for Boyle.
No stick for Hjalmarsson.
Shot blocked and cleared by Kruger. Big play.
He ended up getting his stick from Nordstrom. The forward came all the way back down and give Hjalmarsson the stick.
Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Rangers on the power play. Zuccarello for Nash. Nash with a shot. Blocker save by Crawford. Held in by the diving Yandel, but now carried ahead by Taves. Drawn by Hossa. And the pass over the stick of Hossa. Taves looks to get it out in front with the Blackhawks shorthanded. Killing some valuable power play time for the Rangers. Hossa with the puck, and he will send back to Roosevelt.
They'll play a little four corner.
Seabrook fires in. 40 seconds on the penalty. 1:15 in the period. Dan Girardi scored a power play goal in the Rangers' last game. Swept away by Kruger. 1 minute remaining. 20 on the man advantage. Stepan shoots in right side of Crawford. Bounces out in front. McDonough got a piece of it, and then it's cleared by Nordstrom. Girardi with 40 seconds. Penalty is over. Kreider with a shot. Misses the net high. So the Blackhawks pull it off. Here comes Saad with 30 seconds. Pass deflected away from Taves by Stepan. St. Louis clears the zone. Kreider Hit by Shaw. Down to 20. Kevin Klein backhands ahead. Hagelin offside.
Not a lot going on for the Rangers on that power play, but they had to defend. This was a 2-on-1 chance. Taves looking for Marian Hossa. It just looks like it goes under the blade of the stick of Hossa. You can see why the Blackhawks have had one of the top 3 penalty kills all season long with that. Really the game on the line, no question about it. Be able to do what they just did.
One last chance for the Rangers. Shot by Hagelin, blocked by Seabrook. Seabrook fires down. 60 minutes, no goals. We head to overtime. Crawford has stopped 35 shots. Talbot has turned aside 28. 5-minute sudden death coming up. No score from the United Center. Rangers and Blackhawks. 35 saves for Corey Crawford of the Blackhawks. Cam Talbot has stopped 28. The goaltenders will switch sides as we head to overtime.
Boy, what a third period. Couple of quality chances on either end. Great chance there for Keith Yandel. Good chance there for Andrew Shaw on the backhand. Marian Hossa high and hard. Glove save from Talbot. Marty St. Louis. Derek Stepan. 2 A-plus chances. Great pass there from Kevin Hayes to J.T. Miller. And Corey Crawford denies. And that chance, Chris Kreider. 2. Coming down those right wing boards.
Rangers 4-2 in games that have gone to overtime and ended in overtime this season. Blackhawks are 3-2. Second time the Rangers have gone to overtime scoreless this year. November 1st, home against Winnipeg, they lost in a shootout 1-0. First time the Blackhawks have been scoreless through 60 minutes this season.
Some quality chances on either end. And power plays, missed opportunities on both sides.
Blackhawks 0 for 4, Rangers 0 for 2.
We can see what Joel Quenneville thinks of the game of Teuvo Teravainen here through 3 periods of play. Starting the kid with Taves in overtime.
Taves knocks the puck ahead, backhand shot saved by Talbot. 4-on-4 hockey in overtime. If neither team scores over the 5 minutes, then we will head to a shootout. Matt Zuccarello with the puck. Across to Derek Brassard. Big drive. He scores! 32 seconds into overtime. It's the second overtime winner for Derek Brassard this season. Rangers over the Blackhawks. 1-0.
Well, what a shot by Derek Brassard. Matt Zuccarello with great patience. Crawford out, beats him short side, and the Rangers win this game in overtime. Head up, about 17 feet out. But this play was made in the neutral zone, Kenny. You see that? That's Derek Brassard. He's the last Ranger back. He moves his puck up to Zuccarello. Look where he is. He finds this open ice, and Zuccarello with just a terrific pass, a breakdown in coverage by the Blackhawks, and Brassard makes them pay.
First goal in 15 games for Derek Brassard. 5th shutout of the season for Cam Talbot. Last time the Rangers shut out the Blackhawks, Eddie Jochum in January 1969.
A long time ago.
Eddie Olczyk was not yet 3. So the Rangers win it 1-0 here at the United Center. Derek Brassard, the overtime hero. For Eddie, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Chicago. NHL Overtime is next.